Of horse racing with Keith Hillier. The latest from Barcelona, 2 weeks to go before the Games. Speaking of the Games, Adelaide's bid for the Commonwealth Games is up for grabs. A wrap of motorsport, including a story on Rob Phillis, plus all the latest in AFL and Rugby League. Yes, stay with us, still plenty more to come on Sportsworld. Keith Hillier joins us as he always does on a Sunday morning from Radio 3UZ. Welcome, Keith.
Thanks, Bruce. Big day of racing at Flemington yesterday. It was the final of the Winter Championship, but Bart Cummings turned up out of the blue. Now I know what those initials mean, JB Cummings says, just bet, because he had a treble.
He did very well, didn't he?
Yes, he did too, and some people are talking about a Melbourne Cup hope emerging from yesterday's Flemington meeting. Well,
more about that hope, or maybe no hope, who knows? It's a long way to go from July to November at Flemington, but we'll have a look at Tennessee Jack in a moment. What about the Winter Championship final? A very competitive race and a horse with a very good story behind him, Charleston Boy.
Yes, Charleston Boy had almost, I think he's only had a couple of runs or 3 runs in nearly 2 years. He injured both four-leg tendons. But his race record, 15 wins from 33 starts. He won in a finish that tricked many people. Steve King, who rode the runner-up Eros Valley, asked for a look at the print before correct weight could be notified. Steve saw his pictorial evidence. Charleston Boy is trained by a Narra-Court sheep farmer. He was ridden by Camperdown dairy farmer Neville Wilson. And Neville made a nice country comment after the race too. He said, this is a good horse and the bloke can train.
Yeah, it is exactly what Neville would say. Yes. And he's a good jockey, by the way, isn't he? He's
thrilling finish, Bruce, but a big run from Red Glow. Now, Red Glow, an imported horse, ran 4th in the 1988 Epsom Derby, the English Derby. He went to stud here. That was unsuccessful. He's a couple of stone lighter now. But yesterday he missed the start. The steward said he couldn't get a run at the home turn or in the straight. And you'll see him miss out on 3rd placing in a photo finish. His colours are purple, gold, diamonds and red sleeves. I think the Hanlon colours, aren't they?
Yes, they are. OK, we'll have a look at that performance and I might ask you a little more about him because the Epsom Derby is a race you rate as #1 in the world and this horse started favourite and ran 4th. Let's go to the track, the Winter Championship final, a thrilling finish.
Close up behind them, making ground around the outside, Prince Amenium, and they were being followed by Charleston Boy looking for a run behind them, Chevelle Classique, and further back in the field is Kraken back and very deep is Kenley Son, and Blame is a long way back as they straighten up with about 450 left to go. Cardinal Red on the outside coming at Ben Baranida. High Waters is joining in with a good run and down the outside, Charleston Boy running home well. Prince Amenium at the head of the others and they were followed by Chevelle Classique and Kraken back's a long way back in Eros Valley and Blame nowhere to go. Now here's Charleston Boy on the outside coming at High Waters. 150 out and Eros Valley is finishing on well with Our Joy's Boy. Charleston Boy is the leader. Eros Valley is flying down the outside. Charleston Boy, Eros Valley coming at it. Charleston Boy, Eros Valley, they hit the line. Head bobber. Maybe Eros Valley from Charleston Boy, nothing in it.
Yes, a big finish, and I can see why Stephen King had a look. It did look as if Eros Valley might have got up, and Red Glow was a terrific run. You just wonder whether George is a magician, really, will need to be to get this horse up.
Yes, I think he's a 7-year-old now, Red Glow, and someone said to George after the race, you're looking to the Melbourne Cup, and he said, what are you talking about this horse for? He said, Hayes has got 20 of these imported horses, and incidentally, David Hayes wasn't at Flemington yesterday. He was at Darwin, and he trained a double up there. He won the Guineas, the Northern Territory Guineas, with an Atalac youngster.
So he's getting very close to 300. I think it must be about 298.
4 to go, I think.
It's 4 to go.
Maybe with
I think he had 296 before yesterday, but you might be right.
Yeah, the Darwin ones weren't added into the score. News hadn't filtered through at that stage, probably.
Keith, you could be right. I won't argue with you on that one. I'd love to argue with you, but not on that one.
You won't get an argument on that.
Gee, we're agreeing.
Yeah.
OK, George Hanlon's won 3 Melbourne Cups, Bart Cummings has won 9. We've looked at Red Glow. We look at Tennessee Jack, who's won his 3rd consecutive win at Flemington. Bart came down to have a look. What do you think about this horse?
Well, Bruce, even Bart conceded that this is winter form. I thought it was a workmanlike job only from Tennessee Jack yesterday. That's on the debit side. But on the credit side, he did step up from 2,000 metres to his first staying test. He is a potential stay, and he passed the test. It was only just a pass mark in my book, 51%, but you can't knock him for that. Bart, incidentally, now has 53 horses stabled at Flemington, so what a spring he's in for.
Yes, a big movement's been away from Sydney and back to Melbourne for Bart Cummings, and he's one winner in front of Lee Friedman in 2nd place now behind David Hayes. Let's see whether you would have given Tennessee Jack more than 51%. Here's his win.
650 metres left to go, and Quarter Band coming back to the field by only a length and a half to Activator. Tennessee Jack on the inside, and they're followed by Roll Dice, who's made a very fast run, and they're followed by Del Mar as they straighten up with about 450 to go. Quarter Band still the leader. A length and a half to Roll Dice, coming home well down the outside, followed by Activate. Tennessee Jack is struggling. Del Mar down the outside. Now Tennessee Jack is coming after this leader, which is still Quarter Band. Quarter Band now tackled by Roll Dice, and here's Tennessee Jack on the outside joining in, coming down with 150 metres left to go. Tennessee Jack on the outside coming at Quarter Band, who's battling on courageously, but Tennessee Jack will be too good in the run home, and Tennessee Jack has completed the hat trick. He's won by a half length to Quarter Band. Roll Dice is third.
Yeah, well, having a look there, I think Keith's pretty right, about 51 out of 100, but you can only win, and we're talking about a horse who's on the way up, and we'll be watching his future with a lot of interest. Talking of Melbourne Cups, the St Leger was run yesterday at Eagle Farm. Karaoke successful, the 3-year-old from New Zealand, and his trainer Bruce Marsh, who won as a jockey on Silver Night in 71, thinks this might be a Melbourne Cup horse. Well,
it was a good performance. The St Leger in Queensland has been resurrected really for the Winter Carnival. Bruce, it's only the third running, and Kiwis have won the 3, and Bruce Marsh back-to-back wins. This was a good staying performance, but again, winter form is not spring form.
No, and they did break a course record, but it's 2,900 and it's an odd distance. Let's have a look at Karaoke's performance. 4s into 3s favourite.
Look at them pack up as they race towards the home turn. Karaoke's back behind them. What happened to Full Suit? He was in the box seat, and all of a sudden he was pushed back to second last as Piper's Point went back on top of him. They head for home in the St Leger, and the leader here off a no bid just in front of Make Us Millions. NASA Rocket joining in, and Karaoke into the clear. He's finishing strongly on the outside, and Too Many Guns is going with him. Barrister Brown the extreme outside, but Karaoke, he's raced to the lead at the 200. NASA Rocket's kicking again. Karaoke's just in front of NASA Rocket. They're going to fight it out. Karaoke in front of NASA Rocket. Karaoke a neck in front. Yes, he's too good. Karaoke first. NASA Rocket second. Strapping third. Then.
So good performance here by Karaoke. There's also a major sprint race worth $75,000. Keith, Unequalled successful at 11 to 2. This horse had run a pretty good race behind Scalacci in the QTC Cup.
Yes, he'd been runner-up to him, and Unequalled was partnered by Steve Sharman, who's had quite a successful winter in Brisbane.
Yes, he's done very well, along with Chris Muntz, have been the star local jockeys, and I see Muntz has been offered the Freedman rides in
Not only
Sydney.
Offered, but taking it. And
he is taking it,
We'll go to Sydney, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'll bet on this one.
No.
And B-Stable jockey for Lee Freedman. He's got a big gap on his rivals in the Queensland Premiership, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's ridden well. OK, let's have a look at Unequalled's performance. The favourite here was Blaylock's Ball from the Cummings stable at 4 to 1.
700 metres out. Royal Saga 3 deep, slips up on the outside, pokes his nose in front. Barcelona Bay in the middle, Merritt on the inside. Banya Boy fourth on the rails behind them, followed by Midnight Mistake. There goes Unequalled, sweeping around the field. Just behind them, Walter, Meg's Ego, followed by Blaylock's Bull in the centre. Rechabite back behind a wall of horses. In the straight now, 300 metres to go. Unequalled is sprinting brilliantly on the outside. He's raced to the front. Unequalled shot away a length in front. In second place, post elect Barcelona Bay, Midnight Mistake. Meg's Ego and Blaylock's Bull on the outside. It's Unequalled in front with 100 metres to go. He's going strongly. Leads Midnight Mistake and Meg's Ego, and Unequalled's going to be too good in the run home. Unequalled first, Meg's Ego second, Midnight Mistake third.
Yeah, he's a good horse, Unequalled, and rewarded there with the win. He was only 4 lengths behind Rough Habit in the Stradbroke. In Brisbane last night at Albion Park in harness racing, the rich Australian Derby. Horses came from all over Australia and New Zealand for this event. And the filly was successful, Misty Maiden at 20 to 1, getting up to beat Bonamax, the favourite, in the last hop.
30.1, the second split of the mail. Genghis Caralda takes them down the back. He leads by more than a length over Bonamax. Misty Maiden third, locked up behind the speed. Tyrone Adios fourth and 3 deep. We own a Warrior on the rail. Then Almost an Angel, Smart Son, Ace of Whitby, Fellas Pride, Sir Sam, Warrior Khan, and Leo Gets It dropped out to the rear. Genghis Caralda in front at the 300. Bonamax lays down the gauntlet now. Misty Maiden about to work into the clear. Ace of Whitby deep, then Smart Son and We Own a Warrior sticking to the fence. Genghis Caralda led for home. The South Aussie Bonamax goes after Genghis Caralda. We Own a Warrior checked. Misty Maiden into the clear, and here's Warrior Khan. Bonamax in front. Misty Maiden and Warrior Khan are flying home. Misty Maiden stuck its nose out, and perhaps the filly. Perhaps in the Derby, Misty Maiden and nose to Bonamax.
Yes, a filly beating the colt. She's won 12 out of 37 and 260,000. Bonamax looked a little unlucky. That was the derby last night. Keith, the big meetings all around Australia today, particularly with the Grand National Steeplechase.
Yes, and David Hayes has Sir Sagamore trying to be the trainer, or the first trainer for 23 years to win the Grand National double. Actually, the first at Strathalbyn's on an hour and 5. I can't hang around, Bruce. But big meetings at Rose Hill and everywhere today. It'll be a great day of Sunday racing.
You look quite conservative, but very distinguished with your tie today. Where's it come from?
Oh, this one's from the Echuca Racing Club, Bruce, and was sent by the Secretary, Ian Hart. And Echuca has its cup meeting on Friday week.
So don't forget, race clubs around Australia. Keith's looking for ties. He's nearly run out. He's been giving them all away to his friends. 3UZ. Send them to Keith Hillier. Keith, good punting today. I hope you back that first winner at Strathalbyn.
Thanks, Bruce. I'll catch you before Barcelona, too.
I hope so. And I can't wait for next week because Keith's going to tell us his jockey, his trainer and his horse of the year. We take a break. More after this, Barcelona bound.